So in Vermont, we do have a mixed delivery system, as Tierney referenced. We have 380 pre-qualified programs, but those are both public and private-based settings. And with that, we've really seen that tension between public school and the compensation package that they can offer, as well, in tension with our community-based programs. So it's been an interesting trip for us over the last couple of years as we've really tried to wrestle with the qualifications that were set, and do we have enough qualified licensed teachers in the state to meet the need and the demand of our families, as well as, where are those licensed teachers? And we're really seeing the compensation piece playing a big role in, where are licensed teachers wanting to be employed. So as Act 166 came into being, we had a lot of dialogue and anecdotal evidence that our private programs were really struggling to find the teachers to be able to fill the positions they required. We weren't really clear if that was true, so in 2015 we started a licensed teacher capacity work group. We were lucky enough to have some funding under the Early Learning Challenge Grant that really allowed us to play with that and have that piece, opportunity, facilitation, things like that for us to be able to do this. The first thing we did was really grapple with the data. What was very interesting about our data was that when we looked closely and did the math out, given all the complications scenarios that Tierney described, with really only a requirement of one 10-hour-a-week teacher in a private classroom, private center, which could have multiple classrooms in it, versus the public school actually needing that teacher for each classroom that they ran. We really found that mathematically we should have enough licensed teachers in the state. So we were really struggling to figure out why did anecdotally people keep really pushing at us around not being able to find a licensed teacher. What we soon realized was that the data, Kaylin really referred to the limitations of the data. Our endorsements are actually birth through grade 3 endorsements, and so it was really difficult. We didn't actually have the ability to know where those licensed teachers were teaching. So several of them may have actually have jobs in the K through grade 3 world, and without being able to really identify where those teachers were, we were really struggling with being able to pay attention to the data. So with that, in 2016, we actually did a survey that we put out to the field. It was informal, and it went out to about 620 of our high star rated programs. It didn't matter if they were actually part of our system yet or not. What we found out, we had 212 center and home-based programs participate and 70 school-based programs participated, so it was a total of about a 45% response rate. And the big lesson learned from that was that not being able to provide adequate wages and benefits posed the biggest hiring challenge in home and center-based programs. And that while some programs might be able to match school pay, they still had a hard time hiring because they were asking teachers to work more days a week, more hours, and certainly year-round versus calendar year, and some of the other working conditions that Kaylin reported earlier around planning time and things like that. So in 2017, we really had a big conversation about what are the supports that we have in the state and how can we actually start to support our professionals in moving up. What we figured out was that we actually have a fabulous opportunity that was within our alternative pathway to licensure scenario that's under our Agency of Education rules. And so this group really took a hard look at what are the pathways that are available all the way to licensure that we need, because what we determined was our best bet for getting licensed teachers in our private programs was to actually grow that from within, that it would be really hard to attract and retain teachers that had been working in the public school given that information from the survey about compensation and benefits and working conditions.